We just saw Slender Man. I could really not say that with a straight face. So what's going on, guys? Justin Crumley here with the Cujo Productions channel, and with me is my good buddy, Vinny Brown. Vinny, tell everyone how you're doing today.
Lit.
You're doing lit. He's doing lit, guys. He's doing lit. Sounds like a drug. First, I'd like to start by apologizing for the quality of this video. I'm using my laptop. Like a moron, I forgot my actual camera, so the quality looks a little bad. It's because I'm using my laptop. So I do want to apologize for that. Also, I want to issue a spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't seen Slender Man and wants to. This is your warning. We are going to talk about spoilers, and we are going to get into the movie and talk about everything until we feel satisfied. So this is your warning. If you don't care about spoilers or you've already seen the movie, that's great. Stick around. But if you haven't, you want to, you don't want to be spoiled, this is a warning right now. So I gotta ask, what were your expectations going into this?
Crap.
Crap.
Crap. I knew it wasn't going to be good, but at least it gave some effort.
My expectations for it were pretty low. When I saw the trailer, it didn't really catch my eye. It just kind of looked like a music video. Looked like a Rob Zombie music video, and I just wasn't feeling it, I was just like, what is this? And then I saw it was Slender Man. I was like, oh, okay, I've heard of Slender Man. Now, you guys know every year I do a marathon of creepypasta reviews, starting October 1st, ending October 31st. It's called Creepypasta-thon. And that's why I wanted to see this movie. I felt like I kind of had to, because Slender Man does appear in a lot of creepypasta stories. I've never actually reviewed any of the stories or anything with him in it. I do know about the photos with him supposedly in the background. There's also the game, I believe, off the top of my head, it's Slender, the 8 Pages. A pretty creepy game, actually. I've never played it. I've seen other people play it. There was also that case a few years back with those 2 girls that tried to kill their friend of theirs to sacrifice her to the Slender Man, which was just incredibly disturbing to listen to. The Slender Man is very, I guess you could say, rich with lore, and it's basically an urban legend. And that's kind of what this movie reminded me of, was the movie Urban Legend. Only I actually enjoyed Urban Legend in a sense that it was so bad it was kind of good, at least for me. This movie to me was just kind of flat. It was kind of boring. I couldn't get into it. And much like the trailer, which I said earlier felt like a Rob Zombie music video, I feel like there was a lot of scenes in this movie that were just incredibly stale and boring. That's not to say the entire movie is bad. I did like some of the scenery, like some of the shots of the woods and, some of the forest. Those are really good. They were very ominous and pretty creepy. I also like the one scene in the library where the one girl's like trying to research it, and they compared him to the Pied Piper, the Pied Piper made an appearance in that book, which was a pretty interesting concept because Slender Man is a lot like the Pied Piper. He takes children, they disappear. It was a pretty interesting concept. That being said, this movie is a giant snores fest. At least to me, it was. Let me hear what did you like about it, though, before we get into any more dislikes? What did you like about it?
I like how they kept the Slender Man hidden. Like, they didn't show much of him.
Yeah, whenever he's on the screen, you only see little bits of him. That was pretty cool. They kept it in shadow, probably to hide the CG, but it doesn't matter. I'll give it that. That was pretty well done.
I like that, like you said, the shots in the wood, that was perfect.
Oh yeah.
I like the
scenery. Some of the sets are really good. There was some good in this movie.
The nighttime scenery was like the best.
The nighttime scenery, the thing that got on my nerves after a while was, and this is segueing into the bad. some of the shots are so dark, I can barely tell what's going on. And I get that it's a horror movie, but when I can't tell what's going on, it's hard for me to be afraid. And that's another thing. I was never on the edge of my seat at all during this movie. I was just kind of like, I was just sitting there the whole time. And it starts, the one girl gets taken first. These girls, they just summon Slender Man by watching that video on the internet. Yeah, like the movie doesn't take that long to get started, which, okay, we came here to see this, not these girls. And that's another thing. The characters in this movie, I couldn't get into any of them. They were just kind of bland, and it seemed like when the first girl disappears, that becomes a huge thing. That becomes, where is this girl? Why is she missing? She's missing. Oh my god. And that makes sense. It's like, yeah, that is a little off. Like, they should be looking for her. And then there's that scene where her dad goes into the house of, like, I guess the main character. I believe her name was Haley, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Haley. This guy goes in her house and completely just, like, he was a drunk. They established that he was, like, this drunk. And he's, like, grabbing her, and the cops have to come and arrest him. Then, like, a few minutes later, they go to his house, and they try looking through her stuff to see if they can find any clues. You're telling me this guy got bail, or he's out of jail like that? I mean, the dude, not only breaking and entering, but he attacked a little girl. And he doesn't look like he's rich or knows anyone that is rich, so I wonder how much his bail was, because, like, literally, he's out of jail. I don't know, that just didn't make sense to me. It really just did not make any sense to me. And then when the stuff with the second girl starts happening, where she's, like, losing her mind and all that stuff, it's like they completely ignored the first one. It's like that just went away. And I felt that was so lazy. I was like, look, I understand keeping the story going. You can't stay to one thing forever, but it just seemed like after the second girl started having, I think it was Chloe, started having, like, her meltdown and just, like, losing her mind, it just kind of ignored the first one, which I think was Katie, was her name?
Yeah.
Ignored the first one, which, again, just incredibly lazy on their part. It came out of nowhere when they were, like, sacrificing something they most loved to get Katie back. And, like, Ren's like, I spray him, bring away your trophies. Like, when was that a thing? When did Ren become spiteful of Haley? It just seemed like as they were going on, they kept adding these new things just to give development to these characters, and it just came out of left field, and it was really lazy to me. Now, I mentioned before the library scene. I think that was actually that was done pretty well. When Ren's looking up all the stuff about Slender Man, and she finds that thing about the Pied Piper, I thought that was pretty interesting. That was building a bit of a lore behind it. The thing that just got on my nerves after all was the constant fucking dream sequences in this movie. There are a lot of jump scares, too. I didn't jump once for any of them, but there are a lot of them. But another thing that didn't make sense to me was when Ren pretty much fooled Haley's little sister, Lizzie, into watching the video and trying to give up something she loved most to Slender Man to get him to go away. I mean, besides the fact that it was incredibly underhanded and it made Ren really unlikable, this is all explained when her little sister starts having, like, night terrors and just starts flipping out, doing the little shake thing, which I'll get more into in a second. Had they not had the scene where Haley discovers how it happened, I would have been sitting here saying, like, when did Lizzie get involved with this? Yeah, let's talk about the shake thing, because I know you've been looking forward to this the most. There's a lot of moments where people just randomly start going, and it's freaking hilarious. It is so freaking funny. It shouldn't be, but it is. There's a scene where Haley's about to have, let's be real here, she's about to have sex with this one guy, and he just starts doing it out of nowhere, and it came out of I mean, I guess I could say it came out of nowhere, but let's be real. It was in the trailer. It's in the trailer. I saw it in the trailer, so, there you go. Let's talk about the ending. All the girls die. They all die, I guess, or get taken away. They all get taken. None of them escape. Not really the ending I was expecting. I'll be honest with you. I thought at least one of them would survive, but no, none of them do. They all get taken. Lizzie is the only one to survive. Now, here is my problem here. How does she survive, but the other four don't? I mean, was she spared because she gave up something she loved? Then why is Slender Man haunting her? Why is she getting? Why is she the one in the hospital? Not to mention, she gives that really bad ending monologue that talks about how people spread it around and how they Photoshop images of the Slender Man in photos and stuff. It's honestly, it was delivered so poorly, and the movie just kind of went on and on and on at a point. And you remember when we were in the theater, I actually even said like, oh, just end already. That's not a good thing. When I'm literally sitting here going, oh my god, just end, just freaking end. Let's wrap this up. So, yeah, no, this was definitely not a very good movie. I can't say it was a disappointment because I was not expecting a whole lot. I was expecting crap, and I got a lot more than I bargained for. So let's wrap this up. What are your final thoughts on this? And would you recommend it to anybody?
I wouldn't recommend it unless you're looking to like waste 2 hours of your life. It was not the worst movie I've seen. I've seen way worse. But unless you're willing to waste 2 hours of your life, don't go see this movie. Go watch something better.
Yeah, I think my final thoughts on this film and my recommendation on it. Definitely, I wouldn't recommend seeing it. I don't recommend it unless you're like a diehard fan of Slender Man. I don't know, maybe check it out just for curiosity's sake. But it's not very good, at least in my opinion, and apparently in yours too. So anyway, guys, that's all we have for you today. What did you think of Slender Man? If you guys saw it, throw it in the comment section below what you think about it. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Let us know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the little bell thing so you're notified when I upload videos. And be sure to check out my Facebook page. Link to that is in the description below. Also, check out my Twitter handle and my Instagram. Links to that also in the description below. And if you want to buy some merchandise, head over to my Redbubble page. That is also linked in the description below. So anyway, guys, that's all we got for you today. For Vinny Brown, I'm Justin Crumley, and this is Cujo Productions, signing out.